Welcome back, everyone, to Zoom Fan. So, I haven't been posting as of late for, what is it, like 12 days before I even got back to posting anything, and I only posted like a trailer for some new episodes. And I thought I would give the reason why I haven't been posting, and it's just something I've been personally dealing with, and it's really not that big of a deal, but I for some reason make it a big deal. I just wanted to talk about it. So the reason why I haven't been posting is because I've been thinking about stuff that happened within the past year, and because of that, I've been like hyper focused on it for no reason, like I said, but it's just something that's been happening. And so the thing is that I'm actually it's hard to really talk about all this. But I am actually bisexual. And the reason why is not what you think, because a lot of people I feel, and whenever I see them talk about their sexuality and they get their story, they usually just say, well, I was just born this way. But in actuality, I was never actually born bisexual at all. I was actually like completely straight most of my life, actually. And last year, around February or March, I ended up meeting a guy on an old website, and it's called Omegle, which I ended up going on and enjoying some uh, conversations that had on there. And I mostly went on there because I saw on like YouTube Shorts that people were using it, and they were getting like millions of views. And apparently, it was something old, so I was just going on there because it's free. You can interact with people, so I went on there. And in February, I believe, my most of my family went to Florida to, uh, just have a fun time, and I was home with some other family members, and I didn't want to play any games during the night when I was alone, so I decided to hop on Omegle, where I met this guy named Zack, who was 18 at the time, and I was 19, and he was going to school and stuff like that. And we started off with like small conversations. Didn't really mean much at all. Um, for some reason, the conversation started off with he assumed that I was like an older man because a lot of old men have been talking to him that night. I don't know. It was weird at first, but as we kept talking, we found like similarities with each other. We watched all the same stuff, um, like Star Wars, and I don't believe he watched Lord of the Rings at that point, but I was hoping he would watch it, and I recommend he watch it. He watched most, if not all, the cartoons that I watched. You know, Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated, he found was the best Scooby Doo out there, and it was quite interesting to have somebody watch all the same things as me and really just absolutely enjoy it as much as I did. So over the span of 6 hours on Omegle, and we're doing the typing thing. We're not even doing the FaceTime on Omegle. We're just talking to each other over text. And over time, as we're having the conversation, he started talking about how the things I was saying was making him blush a lot. And I was kind of disgusted at first. I was kind of weirded out by it for some reason. I was like, why is this dude blushing at the things that I'm saying? And then over time, he started to like grow on me. So the more he started blushing, the more I started to do it. And I found it so odd because I'm like, why is a guy making me blush so much? It's so weird. And by the end of the 6 hours, I was just like, this dude is just wonderful. So I didn't want to leave the conversation and never hear from him again because I was actually just like really enjoying the guy's, just like presence basically. So I asked if he had Twitter, like a Twitter account, and he said that he did, and I gave him my Twitter, and he got to me, and then he DM'd me, and I was like, okay, since it's like really early in the morning, it's like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I'm super tired. I'm just glad that uh, tomorrow I can continue talking with him. So on Twitter that very night, the next night after I'm done with Omegle, I decided to start a space, which is just like a group conversation like thing that you can have on Twitter. It's open, so anyone can join. Um, and he came on and was talking to me. I believe it was his aunt that was downstairs who was screaming. I don't know if she was singing a song or she was just screaming on some kind of movie, but I could hear her from all the way downstairs, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious. And of course, while we were talking, Zack did explain why he was blushing so much when I was talking to him on Omegle. And apparently, this is because he just loves people. He really likes it when people like acknowledge his existence. Apparently, so he would talk about like in school where if someone walks over and even like touches him in some sort of way, like he blushes simply because he feels like he's just been acknowledged. And it is kind of sad, but at at the exact same time, I think that's one of the reasons why he was blushing so much, because he felt like someone was there to truly love him. So, and this is where the problems really started. I mean, it started off great. He couldn't find his mic, and I was like, I was super like worried because this guy's so cool, and I don't know what it's gonna be like when I hear his voice and all that. But luckily, his voice sounded very very nice. So we started talking, and once again, the conversations that we had went on for like uh, I believe like 7 hours or whatever. And the problem really started when I allowed my sister to talk to him. So the problem was at this time she was just going through a lot of stuff. So when she got on, she just started basically yelling at him, and not like screaming at him, but just yelling at him and seemed very hostile. And I let her talk for like 30 minutes because I thought Zach was just like the greatest guy ever. So I was like, there's no way that my sister could honestly come out of a conversation with him hating it. But I don't think she did, but she still basically caused a bit of a problem when it came to Zach and I, anyways. And then, since like I said, the spaces are open, so any random person could join. So after Zach was just yelled at by my sister for all sorts of things, a Christian guy comes in to the space, and we get into a conversation about homosexuality, of which he basically says that homosexuality is the worst, like one of the worst things you can ever do to God's like creation. It's an abomination. And the thing is, right, is that Zach even said that he was a Christian, right? And he wanted to get back into church, but he felt that God hated him for being gay and all that. And I told him that God cared more about who he was as a person, his character than he does his sexuality. And then when this Christian guy comes into the space, he just tells him like, yeah, you're just an abomination to God's creation, basically confirming everything that Zach was, thinking essentially. And so at that point, it was very late at night, and he DM'd me as the space was still going on. He said that he would talk to me in the morning, but he was going to bed. And I still continued the conversation with the Christian guy, and I mean, we got into a whole sorts of conversation that went on for hours after that. But I did go to sleep, and then when I woke up and I checked the DMs to talk to Zach, Zach's account was completely gone. And it just like totally disappeared. I don't know if it was deleted or if somebody like, at Twitter or something like that. I don't know if he was like reported and then removed. I don't know anything. I don't know a single thing that actually happened to his account. And this is one of the reasons why I haven't been posting that much, because I've just been thinking about the past, and the reasons why is just like when it came to Zack, at least. I actually loved him quite a bit, and I know I only knew him for about 3 days at the most. I couldn't help but feel like there's something about this guy that was just perfect, and some of the stories that he's telling me where he's had multiple partners, or he's had multiple dates, and they basically controlled him essentially. They wouldn't allow him to do anything by himself, and they wanted to basically be there to make every single decision for him, so he left them. And he was struggling with Christianity, as well as a lot of family issues. And even with all that, I couldn't help but feel like this guy was like the sweetest person ever. And he's the reason why I actually identify as bisexual now, because I didn't even know I could like guys. I've always liked women, but I never knew I could like guys till I met him. And not only that, but I felt like he was one of the best people I've ever met, and that I wish that he stayed. And I still have his bio from his Twitter, and it's very simple. I didn't even get a chance to get the character or get to see any of the people that he followed that could tell me what precisely happened to him. And if he did even hate me, and that's why he left Twitter, because he thought that I set him up to offend him or something, it never made sense to me as to why he completely deleted his entire account rather than just block me. And even if that were to be the case, that he was accidentally banned, or if someone else reported him and got him removed, he probably doesn't care about me much. And this was also one of the things that I was thinking about that prevented me from making videos. Is just I honestly care about Zack, but at the exact same time, if he actually did care about me in any sort of way, why didn't he try to find me and tell me what happened? You can make a whole new Twitter account or something like that. I recommended my channel. I have the link to my channel in the bio of my Twitter. So I was hoping that he would at least check out my channel, maybe subscribe or something like that. Just any sort of way to tell me what happened, or why his account is gone. But I haven't heard anything in months, almost an entire year now, basically a year. So, it's just some of the things that I've been thinking about, and I just wanted to get it off my chest in this video, because I can't stop thinking about it. Thinking about all the chances in my life that I had to be completely happy and content with what I have, and then something else just comes in and ruins it. So, yeah, I am bisexual because of a guy that I met, and I wish that guy would at least come back to tell me the reason why he's gone, or a reason why his account was gone. Just so that I can have some closure on that. But yeah, thank you for watching this video and for allowing me to be this personal. And Zack, if you're out there, then I wish you all the best, but I just wish I knew what happened.